Design thinking is a way to get out of our biases, drop them, look at the world differently, change the distortion lens, and begin to create a future that you want manifesting.
Law as a subject is something that empowers you, right? It teaches you why society is structured the way it is. It also gives you the tools to actually change society in however small or big a way that you want to.
I hope that they have a brief understanding about what a career in marketing, communications, and PR is all about. It's an organization-wide skill and resource and team that works to communicating your brand strategy and the overall objectives, mission, vision of a company.
The common misconception is that there is some magic you do with the data and it tells you something that you don't know. The reality is that there is a rigor needed behind how you deal with the data, how you analyze it, more importantly how you use it and don't abuse it. So in that sense, yes, it is. I believe it is this century's foundational skill.
The kids today are a lot more savvy. They are they come born with a conscience in some sense, I feel, right? And they're so well informed and they're so well intentioned. So I think those bode really well for the kind of professionals that we see in social impact.
I'm sure that's going to go a long way in helping students connect their classroom learning with meaningful experiences like they will gain from the mentoring day this morning. In the same breath, I would like to welcome our alumni. And I think that's absolutely fantastic to have our alumni come in and share their experiences after they've passed out from school or into college and moving towards work, to tell the peers what it takes to be prepared for a life outside of school.
I'm going to talk a little bit about what I said at the presentation, right? Like social impact as opposed to other technical disciplines is an interesting one because everyone's a change maker and everyone can be a change maker. And we need every business leader, entrepreneur, professional, and member of society to be thinking impact in their work and in their home.
Striking the intersection between various fields such as social work and, for example, engineering is something that she touched upon in her session, and it's definitely something that I found very interesting. The way that we can make a change in our communities no matter what background we come from or what we study. And as an aspiring psychologist, I think this resonated with me deeply.
Making a change in people's lives through helping each other even by simply spreading awareness is a lot, and so I think I learned that from her.
Design thinking is fundamentally about empathy and about co-creating and iterating. Our future is so enormously different than where we've been. In the sense, there are many opportunities in the metaverse, for example, to live life differently. There are technological advances that will help make life better for most people on this planet. At the same time, we have bigger challenges to solve, like saving the earth and being more conscious in our consumption. Design thinking will help us look at the world from everyone else's perspective and come up with solutions that are different than the thinking that got us to this problem.
Opened my eyes to many new things, and how just looking from something from a different perspective can change how you see it entirely. And one thing I took away from that is even if you think you've made something proper that is going to last for a while, you may find out that there are some flaws in it, and you should always take those positively and not feel discouraged in any way whatsoever.
It's so cool to be curious all the time about things. So the kind of questions we had and the interaction and the engagement And that also is a fundamental tenet of design thinking, to be curious. And I saw that in the room.
What I want to do is I don't want to be stuck to one place. I want to be able to have that option to move around, to try new things, to, basically not be confined to working or staying in one place. You can have a law degree but do whatever you want after that. And that's something that really was like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. I think that was a good takeaway, and also comes back to not being confined to doing one thing.
The ability to read a lot and also to put forth your thoughts in a clear, cogent, structured manner is an art that takes a long time, and you can improve it at any age.
I think they're very lucky to be born at a time of abundance, and I think the abundance can be abused, or it can also be taken advantage. That's the paradox of choice. So the advantage that they have is they have a lot of choice. The disadvantage is they have too much choice. So I just really hope that they will take advantage of this choice and find their true calling, and not necessarily just tinker around and not converge either.
I think before this session, I would always think data analytics is a little boring and not, very interesting to me. But then I realized how many different applications it could be used for. If you're a doctor, an engineer, or a researcher, or something along those lines, there's always some form of data or some analytical thing that you have to use, and if you don't have that kind of knowledge, it'll be very difficult to pursue, especially in the modern age of technology.
I also wanted to kind of communicate the fact that problem solving is an iterative process, and that mindset of iteration would be very valuable. I wanted to communicate that it's a style of living where you iterate through the problem rather than expect to know all the answers in one step. It's a brilliant move because so early in your life to hear people who actually are passionate about some career or some work or some choice that they are now living, and more importantly to hear from them on what their day in their life looks like, the choices they made, and how in some ways almost every one of them stumbled into it. They didn't start out to be a banker or a legal person or a marketing person. I think that plant that you have enough time to explore, don't be in a hurry, and most of us have explored to arrive at where we have. I think just if that one thing that they got out of this is pretty amazing. I think incredibly valuable at this stage in their life.
And believe me, social impact, the way it's growing in India, needs professionals from across disciplines to be able to join it. We have a huge talent gap. So if there's something that I was hoping that the children took away is that, can you think of social impact, whatever it is that you do? Can you spend time understanding and developing empathy for the communities that surround you? Can you look at combining whatever it is your passion and interest, whether it's performing arts or technology or data or any kind of liberal arts, with a certain social impact objective? And can you choose one project that you do from now to be with that kind of a lens?
I would say work hard, work extremely hard, be very open-minded, be very flexible, and follow your dreams, of course. But sometimes life throws you lemons, and you learn how to pivot and make the best of every opportunity that comes your way. But definitely read, observe, and work very hard.
Mentorship is actually a key to growth at every stage of your life, right? And I feel like these children are very lucky that the school has today taken this wonderful initiative of connecting them with mentors beyond the boundaries of the school, right? And I think what that will give them is give them a little bit of a slice of what life is really like.
When I did give my talk, I could literally see myself, sitting in one of those seats and have that interview from a mentor, from an alumni. So doing this myself was actually a very different experience. But yeah, I think my message to the students will be, just keep going at it. A lot of the students feel very pressured into this whole system of what career to choose, how to apply to colleges, all the uncertainties with college. I think my message will just be keep doing what you're doing, especially with the nurturing environment in Inventure, where you get to do things outside medicine. You get to focus on your extracurriculars, like I did my football, and even change maker things, all those things. Focus on those things, and I think you will have a very good shot at applying and getting into medicine, just like I did.
I feel like they need to be more open to the idea of texting or like messaging people even if they've never spoken to them before, because I know for me I would have appreciated being able to contact seniors or like anybody else who had already studied law or was studying law, just to know what it was about. And like they have access to all of us as alumni, and I feel like they need to use that as a resource to like the best of their abilities.